Bonjour, and welcome to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. I'm a senior VIP relations specialist, and I'll be your guide to events at the race this weekend. I will walk you through all the benefits of your VIP package, helping you get oriented, and I'll also guide you to some of the extras in your packaging, like the helicopter flight over the circuit, the guided walkthrough of the historic cars that will be doing an exhibition lap this weekend, as well as your hot lap with a professional racing driver, so you can experience the circuit as the drivers do. You have selected our top package, so you get an incredible set of benefits. Yes, we are thrilled to have you here at the circuit for this VIP experience. Did you travel far to get to Le Mans this year? Okay, and I hope you had a smooth voyage. Great. Well, now that you are here, you are in excellent hands. Have an exciting and luxurious stay for this incredibly special race weekend. I have this dossier, which is going to have all of the info you need for your weekend: maps, times, information, guides to the attractions, everything that's going to ensure that you have the info you need at your fingertips for a wonderful experience. I'll also be helping you out along the way. That to you. And of course, there are links to find the info on the web, so you can have it on your device at any time during the weekend. To make sure you get everywhere that you need to go, I have your access badge. You can have that. Keep that on you at all times, as that is your gateway to the many experiences that are part of your package. You know, about 250,000 spectators make the trek to Le Mans to watch the race, but you are going to have the absolute best views of any of them. You have access to 3 VIP viewing areas for the full duration that they are open during the weekend, including, most importantly, the panorama viewpoint, enclosed watching area. It gives you an incredible view of the pits, the start-finish straight, and the passage of the cars into the Dunlop curve. So really extraordinary. I'm going to take you through a few of the viewing locations and zones on the track where you can take in the entertainments or watch the race as you desire. So you have this map, and you have a copy in your dossier there, and it's also available online. But I'll just give you a quick orientation to the layout here. The track basically circles around the key fan experiences. A very long track, one most active in motorsport at the moment. So here where we are, we have the start-finish area, the pits, the paddocks for the team, and then the main grandstand viewing area, which I mentioned has that panorama viewpoint. We also have the VIP look over the pit area, and at each of the VIP reception areas, you'll have full access to the catering on offer as well as open bar privileges. And that does include the beautiful champagne, which should be savored while you're here in France. Yeah, the catering at the Panorama, it has these little bowls of cassoulet that are divine. Literally just load myself up on those. So good. Also there they have an immaculate pastry chef. My understanding is she is likely to be the first person ever granted 4 Michelin stars. It's that good, so definitely help yourself and indulge. If you would like a little change of venue, there's also the VIP reception area by the karting track. And of course, wherever you are throughout the course, these little blue 24-hour rectangles are large viewing screens, so you can get a view of the action all over the course of the circuit. You should always be able to keep tabs on the race. So these areas will be open Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday from 9 a.m. in the morning all the way throughout the day until 1 a.m. And it is the same schedule on Thursday for those practice sessions. Then Friday, qualifying will happen. The hours are from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. Then, of course, the main event, running 24 hours from 3 p.m. on Saturday until 3 p.m. on Sunday. And facilities will open Saturday morning at 9 a.m. We open all the way through the 24 hours of the race, ending at 5 p.m. on Sunday. And after the winner has been declared, sadly the festivities will come to a close, but should make for a great racing weekend. Again, those times are available online and in your packet as well. Now, with your VIP package comes concert access. There are concerts Wednesday night through Saturday night, with varying start times, usually around 10 p.m. And those will take place here, tucked in one of the inner curves of the Bugatti circuit, which is a racing circuit within the larger Le Mans track. But you'll have access to the VIP spaces, so you are guaranteed to be able to get into those concerts. I hope you like techno and French mumblecore rap if you're planning to attend. And then, as I mentioned, there are a number of different fan zones at the track, which offer a variety of entertainments if you're looking to mix things up throughout the weekend. We have the family fan zone. If you have kids, great activities there. Mentioned the karting track, where you have the karting zone. You can try your hand at simulators and some old racing games. There's a lot of great racing themed entertainment there. I mentioned the concert fan zone, and then also the Tête Rouge fan zone by the Dunlop curves. And this is an adventure-oriented zone. You want to try your hand at rock climbing or things like that. Laser tag, rope course, also a dance floor if you want to shake your body. Then of course at all the fan zones, there are screens and often direct views of the track to take in the racing. The last one is the East Gate fan zone, which is pretty unique. There's some relaxation-oriented opportunities there if you just want to chill out from what can be a frenetic and exciting weekend. And new for this year, something very special there, have a sensory minimization room there. It maintains a library-like atmosphere, so if you want to get away from the noise and the sights, you can go relax there. There are still video screens available in that space if you want to keep track of the race, just at a much lower volume intensity. And as part of that experience during the race, Monotonic ASMR is going to be doing a live stream in there, so you can hear him live. My understanding is he creates a pretty chill vibe. If you want to check that out for something different, your badge gives you unrestricted access to that area. Could be nice to just get away and relax for a bit. Right, so the VIP package gives you great access to those hospitality areas. If you wish, you can check out those fan zones. All wonderful for being able to just take in all the sights and sounds of the race. But wait, there's more. You also get priority access to the driver autograph signings that will take place on Thursday. If you want to meet some of the previous Le Mans winners, it's a great opportunity to do so. You also have a guided walkthrough of some of the historic cars that we're going to have on display. They're going to do some laps as part of an exhibition, so you'll get a great chance to be up close and personal with those cars and have an expert walk you through some of their details and their incredible history. You also will be able to do the grid walk on race day on Saturday, so you'll actually be able to be in and among the cars in the pits as they are prepped for the race. Really unique and incredible experience that not many people get to do. You of course have the hot lap, where a pro race driver is going to take you around the course. So you really get to see it from the driver's perspective. It is so cool. It's almost entirely on public roads, unlike most race courses, so you'll feel how it can be rougher than a lot of custom designed race courses, which makes part of the challenge of driving here at Le Mans. So a real hands-on sensory experience of what it's like. Let me just double check here. Yeah. It looks like you are booked with Walter Koenigsberg, who is a world rally champion and multiple-time class winner here at Le Mans. He is an exceptional driver. You're in great hands. Wonderful guy, quite a character, though he never shows any form of emotion whatsoever. But nevertheless, you are really going to enjoy that. So that covers just about everything. There are concierge locations indicated on your map if you need anything at any time, do check in there, and then you can get in direct contact with me as well, in case you need something from me, okay? Alright, well, the last benefit in your package that we haven't gone over, but incredibly exciting, and it's going to start very shortly for you, is your helicopter tour of the circuit. This is going to give you a great overview of the area and the Le Mans racetrack, so you'll get a bird's eye view of it. We have special VIP transit vans that will take you to the various events and areas on the site. So I will escort you down there now, and it will whisk you over to the airport, which is conveniently right across the road, and you've already visited. And we will get you on board your helicopter tour of the 24 Hours of Le Mans racetrack. Alright, sound good? Any other questions before we go? Alright, well, let's kick things off on your VIP experience with a helicopter tour. Alright, after you. Bonjour. Welcome. I'm Didier Chabrol, and I'm going to be your pilot for your helicopter tour today. I'm just going to get you checked in and enter the final flight information into my system here. So would you like a complimentary glass of champagne while I do that? I thought you might. Let me grab that for you. Some nice, chilled Moet Chandon, which we keep in a pretty little cabinet here. Here in France, of course, it has to be French champagne. Though you don't strike me as someone who would settle for the American sparkling toilet water, or whatever it is they make over there. Let me just open this up and get you a glass. All right. Ah, such a beautiful sound, isn't it? And there you are. Please enjoy. Yes, I'm afraid I'm forbidden to partake. In the old days, it would have been allowed, even encouraged. But now, legally, not allowed, and it shouldn't be. We know so much more now about how stupid we used to be. Much safer this way, but please enjoy. It's delicious, isn't it? Alright, so I have your name here, all set for our flight. You're actually the only passenger on this tour in this time slot today. I do a number of them over the course of the day and the weekend. You're basically getting a private Helo Tour here. If I could just go ahead and get a signature from you, just for liability purposes. Perfect. Okay, just get flight info put in here. So if you have a bag or a jacket, anything you want to leave, briefcase full of confidential telemetry data, whatever it is, there is a secure storage area here. Feel free to take advantage. Anything you leave will be safe and out of your way on the flight if you would like. Okay. And have you ever taken a helicopter flight before? Okay. Well, it is going to be a ton of fun, and it's going to give you a great aerial survey of the racetrack. All right. Weather is good out there, so guarantee it's going to be a terrific experience. So if you're ready, we can head on out to the tarmac and climb aboard, okay? All right, let's do it. All right, I'm just going to do a quick walk around just to make sure everything is in order. Safety is, of course, priority number one. I never take it lightly. I'll just verify all of the flying surfaces, moving parts are all in good shape. All right, everything is looking good. Why don't you go ahead and hop aboard? You can sit in the back if you like, but since you're my only passenger, if you would like to join me up front, it'll be a great view and you're welcome to do so. Go ahead and put your headset on. All right, radio check. Can you hear me? Perfect. Let's go ahead and get this started here. Going to release the rotor brake. Turn on the battery. Turn on our collision light. Avionics are on. Can turn the generator on. Fuel pump and pitot heat. Alright. And let's go ahead and engage the starter. Keep an eye on our gauges here. Rotor starting to spin there. Looking good. Okay, let's go ahead and toggle into flight. We'll have the power we need. Alright, everything is looking good here. Go ahead and taxi out here. Okay, a left turn here. Alright, getting lined up on the runway here for our departure. We can be off. Just make a left turn. Circuit is literally across the street. You can see the track. Yeah, curves of the inner Bugatti course there in sight now as we come down the start-finish straight. Pits in the paddock area there on the right. Museum up there on the left as we make a right. The Dunlop curve. And then the S's that will lead towards Tete Rouge. The drivers will make a right turn at Tete Rouge here, which will send them down the famous Mulsanne Strait. Incredibly long and fast straight, absolutely iconic. The hippodrome there on the right. You know, the chariot races happen. You know, the fastest cars gone up to around 250 miles an hour on the straight, which the organizers ultimately decided needed a couple chicanes, the first one below us here, to slow down the cars. Chicane just being a kink in the road one side to the other. Drivers slow down to navigate it, bring down those top speeds. So now the straight's really divided into 3 sections. Cars still go exceptionally fast. You'll see cars traveling at very different speeds though. Probably hear a lot about classes, the different acronyms. Le Mans Prototype 1, hypercars, Le Mans Prototype 2, which are kind of more standardized race cars, and then the GT class, which look the most like the road cars, production cars they're based on. The Mulsanne kink turn puts you in the final section of the straight here. So you have 3 classes of cars with very different capabilities. And the easiest way to think about it is just there are 3 different races being run. They just happen to all run simultaneously on the track at the same time. So each division will have a class winner. And of course there's the outright winner. So we have the Mulsanne corner here. Hard turn after the long, fast straight. Put you on the Indianapolis straight. If you want to get in some golf, there's a great course here. Then the perimeter of the track. All the facilities up there to our right. And this will take the drivers towards the Indianapolis corner, which will be a left turn, and then the immediate right turn, the Arnage corner. Track has had various changes over the years for safety and controlling speeds. There we have the left of Indianapolis. and then it'll swing back to the right here. This will start drivers on the track up towards the start-finish straight. They're in the distance ahead of us. First, they'll navigate the Porsche curves, these sweeping S curves, taking it quite high speed with modern downforce. Really sensational. Sweeping to the right here, and back to the left and to the right again. And there just ahead of us, you'll see the karting track. So the karting fan zone in there. There'll also be the manufacturers area. We could check out BMW and Porsche, Aston Martin. From all the great manufacturers at the race. And from the S-curves they flow into the Ford chicane. Help slow things down before they get into the start-finish straight. Coming up on the pit entry here. Pits in the paddock and on the right there. As we come down the start-finish straight, completing a lap of Le Mans. Truly sensational and iconic motor racing circuit, around 8.5 miles long, incredible stretches of high speed, really something extraordinary. And we can circle back to the airfield, can drop you off so you can continue enjoying your experience here at the racetrack. Hope you've enjoyed your flight with me here today. When I'm not flying, I contract myself out as a mercenary pilot in foreign war zones around the world. Kidding, of course. I live for motor racing, so I tend to do this job at other circuits around the world. So if you're in the neighborhood of other races, we might cross paths again. If you do another helicopter tour, sit down between these two aircraft here. Steady as she goes. Just settle down here. And here we are. I hope you've enjoyed your helicopter tour, and I hope you have a fantastic experience the rest of the weekend. Have a good day. Let's head out into the pit lane. Number of historic race cars are on display here. We're going to be doing some exhibition laps. This is a great chance to see some of these fabulous machines and hear a little bit about the history of the race. There have been a lot of changes in the race over the years, especially the car classes, regulations, as well as the circuit layout. Some of the most recent changes added the chicanes on the Mulsanne straight to slow cars down, as they were getting up to 250 miles an hour. And remember, the race is not a fixed distance, it's the car that covers the most distance in 24 hours. And that record distance was 3,360 miles, set in 2010. The current rules now mandate 3 drivers driving in shifts, no more than 4 hours in the car in 6 hours, and no more than 14 total. No more Herculean drives by 1 or 2 individuals. The race has been run since 1923, with a short break for World War II. It is the oldest active endurance racing event in the world. The earliest winner we have on display today is the Ferrari 166M. This is a V12 powered Ferrari in the classic red, and holds the distinction of being the only car to win Le Mans along with the Targa Floria and the Mille Miglia, 2 classic, historic road races. And here we have the Jaguar D-Type. It won Le Mans 3 times in a row, 1955, 1956, and 1957. There's lots of aviation influence on the design, including that vertical tail fin, designed to provide stability when traveling at high speed down the Mulsanne Straight here at Le Mans. And this is the Aston Martin DBR1. Regulations have changed greatly over the years at Le Mans. Sometimes entrants have been required to be based on existing road cars, and sometimes they can be built completely fresh as a race car. The Aston Martin DBR1 was designed purely as a race car with no road-going equivalent. Powered by a 3-liter straight-6 engine, it's the only Aston Martin to take outright victory at Le Mans, doing so in 1959 after failing to finish the race the previous 3 years. Carroll Shelby, the famous American racer and car builder, drove the DBR1 that year alongside Roy Salvadori. Ferrari has won the recent iterations of the race, but prior to that, their last winner was in 1965. This Ferrari 250 LM. It's a 3.3-liter V12 developed from the 250 TR. TR for Testarossa, or red head, those red cylinder heads, iconic in the engine. This car that won was entered by NART, the North American Racing Team, a private team rather than a manufacturing-driven team, though it was affiliated with Ferrari, as the team was formed to help promote the sales of Ferrari in the United States. It was driven by Jochen Rindt and Maston Gregory. Rindt would tragically die in 1970 while racing in Formula One. He died partway through the season, and with his nearest rival, Jackie Ickx, unable to capitalize and win the season, Rindt became the first and only posthumous F1 champion. Jackie, of course, said he wouldn't have wanted to win, as he didn't want to beat someone who couldn't defend himself. Jackie Ickx is a legend of Le Mans. More about him later. Enzo Ferrari learned the hard way not to spite Henry Ford. After being rebuffed by the Ferrari boss, Ford started development of the Ford GT40, a car that would dominate at Le Mans, winning 4 years in a row. 3 GT40s crossed the finish line together for the first win in 1966. Rule changes meant to slow the cars down didn't keep GT40s from winning another 2 years in a row. including a sensational race in 1969 against strong Porsche opposition. 1969 saw a stunning win by Jackie Ickx in a GT40, despite the presence of Porsche's mighty 917. When the leading Porsches retired, Ickx and the GT40 fought a hard battle against a Porsche 908, ultimately winning the race by barely 100 meters, one of the closest finishes in the history of Le Mans. Ickx would go on to become the most winning Le Mans driver ever, with 6 wins, until his record was beaten by Tom Christensen driving for Audi, who would incredibly go on to 9 overall victories. That race in 1969 was the last year for the traditional Le Mans start, where drivers would run across the track, leap into their cars, and drive away. Jackie Ickx, in fact, protested by walking slowly and carefully strapping himself in before driving away, thus starting the race in last place, the race he would eventually win. Changes to regulations meant to rein in incredibly powerful sports prototypes being built, required manufacturers to enter cars that had at least 50 built. Porsche stunned by essentially making 50 purpose-built race cars. Though the incredible Porsche 917 didn't win in 1969, it would inherit Ford's domination of the race, laying the groundwork for Porsche's amazing winning record at the race over the last few decades. Porsche would dominate Le Mans in the early 80s with their 956 race car. The 962 was a development of that in response to new sporting regulations. The 962 would pick up where the 956 left off, winning twice in a row, making it a record 7 consecutive victories for Porsche. The Jaguar XJ-R9 would put an end to that winning streak, winning the race outright. Note the interesting design where the rear wheels are covered by the bodywork. The Sauber C9, built by the Swiss builder with a Mercedes engine, was dominant in the following season, winning Le Mans and all but one race in the championship. On the Mulsanne Straight, it was reaching up to 250 miles per hour. The speeds it was reaching, along with some other competitors, drove changes to the track to lower top speeds. The 2 chicanes were added to the Mulsanne Straight as a result. Here we have one of the most phenomenal road cars ever built, the McLaren F1. A race-modified version of this car won Le Mans in 1995. Other McLaren F1s also placed 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 13th, doing amazingly well against purpose-built race cars. The car was the first road car built by the McLaren Formula One team, one of the first road-going cars to use a carbon fiber monocoque like a racing car, and every component designed to a singular purpose, building the ultimate road car. Uniquely, it has 3 seats up front, with the driver seated centrally for optimum visibility. To this day, it still holds the record for fastest naturally aspirated road car. Incredible for a car built in the 1990s. It's a stunner and widely regarded as one of the greatest automotive achievements ever. Audi had tremendous success in the early 2000s with their R8 Le Mans racer, Its successor, the R10 TDI, may have looked similar but took a different approach to power. While not the first diesel fuel car to compete at Le Mans, the first being tried in 1949, the Audi R10 TDI was the first diesel-powered car to win the race. Just don't ask them about the emissions ratings. This car, the R15, is an evolution of that design, featuring a V10 rather than a V12 engine. Ultimately, it was able to finish first, second, and third at Le Mans after its Peugeot rivals dropped out of the race. 2015 saw quite a battle between Audi, who had won the previous 3 years, and Porsche. The Audi R18 Quattro TDI was the first closed cockpit racer of the 21st century from Audi. It was a hybrid, featuring a V6 turbo diesel plus an electric motor that could drive the front wheels, thus the Quattro in the name. Regulations prevent the use of the four-wheel drive system below 75 miles per hour, so it only engages at higher speeds. Its competitor, the Porsche 919 Hybrid, exemplifies how this class is a showcase of technology. Like the Audi, it uses a hybrid engine, an internal combustion motor, in this case a 4-cylinder turbocharged unit powering the rear wheels, and an electric motor powering the front. What is unique to the Porsche, though, is that energy is recovered from exhaust heat, allowing for energy generation under acceleration. The Porsche would best the Audi, kicking off a string of 3 straight victories. Now we take a quick look at a car from the GT class, the 2017 Porsche 911 RSR. The car has been heavily modified from road-going examples. The engine has been moved forward from the rear to make it a mid-engine sports car. It's a naturally aspirated engine, arguably the pinnacle of 911 development, and took a double victory in 2018. And this magnificently branded vehicle is going to be your chariot for your hot lap. Go talk to Walter over there. He'll get you all set up. Walter, nice to meet you. May I see your badge? Okay. I will be driving you around the racetrack. You will see what it looks like. Please go ahead and select a helmet there. I'd recommend probably that red medium one there, but please choose one that fits snugly. Just as a safety precaution, as I will apply acceleration around a race course. Good. You'll be driving this beautiful Porsche, so let's go ahead and get you strapped in. Seatbelts are the most important thing. Alright, let's get started. Vroom vroom, down the start-finish straight through the grandstands. The first curve we come to is the Dunlop curve. It now has a chicane here to slow things down. Continual quest to keep speeds under control. Easy to remember that one thanks to the large sign on the bridge. And then we have the S's, or the forest S's. The shape of the track has evolved through the years. for safety and how the roads have changed. And there we go around Tete Rouge, and like a worker finishing his day, we put the hammer down. It's incredibly long and fast straight. I'm supposed to stick to 155 miles an hour max, but if that's what they wanted, they should have put the rev limiter there. Once I put my right foot down, it stays down. Doctors say it's probably a physical condition, but I know it's mental. I have no self-control. That was the first chicane. Cars were getting so fast on here. For safety, organizers wanted to slow it down. That's the coward's choice, of course, but I imagine without them, modern Le Mans cars would go supersonic along this straight. Cars used to spend more than a minute at full throttle. Incredible speeds. And there we go through the second chicane. And we're going to have a small right turn, the Mulsanne kink. There used to be a significant hump in the track where cars would get airborne. That's been reshaped as car speeds got a lot faster to keep them from going airborne as they have in the past. And we slow down to take the Mulsanne corner, putting us on the Indianapolis straight. Now the long straight we call Mulsanne Straight in English. It was a road that ran from Le Mans to Mulsanne, but it's called Villeneuve in French, and this would actually be the Mulsanne road in the French road system. Alright, we have the turn here at Indianapolis, and then a right turn at Arnage. Slowing down, making the turn. And this is going to point us back up towards the start-finish straight. And we're coming up on the Porsche curves. Fast, sweeping bends. We're in the appropriate vehicle for them, this being a Porsche 918. We have almost 600 horsepower available from the V8 engine. Then we also have electric power for an additional 282 horsepower, giving us a measly 875 horsepower to send us down the track here. And so we go through the curves here. And then the landmark along this stretch of track is the Maison Blanche, the White House, famous landmark through the years. And then we'll be coming up on the Ford chicane as we'll slow cars down before the start-finish straight. The entrance to the pits there on our right. The last chicane, and this will put us on the start-finish straight. And we can complete our glorious lap of the Le Mans circuit. Alright, let's go into the pits here. I hope you have enjoyed going around the circuit with me. Of course, pit stops are very important over the course of a 24-hour race. Time spent in there over the many pit stops can certainly add up. Teams must ensure they have a smooth running pit operation to keep their cars on track as much as possible. Now I can let you off here and you can get in the van that will take you back to your hotel. But it is the end of my shift, so if you would prefer to ride with me, I can take you back there with alacrity. Sound good to you? Alright, well then let's do it. Let's put the pedal to the metal.